Hello class, good evening. My name is Jessica Moss and this is my Module 13 second oral presentation in Dr. Kaneva's class, Research in Sport and Physical Activity, HPR 6793. We are in the 2017 spring semester of the graduate program here at Henderson State University. I would like to go ahead and jump on into my assignment. Okay, so the overall topic of my proposal is sports ethics applied to amateur sports. Just in a nutshell, I kind of want to go over an entire overview of what my research paper is about, just broken down into a few bullet points. And to start off my abstract, if I had to pick a overall explanation or sentence to sum up what the entire project is about, or research study is about, I would say that the study is conducted to receive useful data on why sports ethics is needed in amateur sports. If I were to go ahead and conclude this paper, and if it were to be published for other peers of mine to use for a resource, they could search keywords like ethics, amateur sports, volleyball, qualitative approach, or Southern Arkansas. Moving on to my literature review, I had about 6 or 7 pages worth of formulating the 10 articles that I chose that pertain to the topic of sports ethics applied to amateur sports, and it pretty much was an accumulation, of the explanation of why children are blank disc and how positive and negative influences can impact the applicant on how they use ethical values on themselves, on their teammates, and later on in life. Just to move right along, the statement of the problem is that not all coaches have the same coaching techniques. Not all professional athletes are positive role models, and with the media growing to over 1.23 billion active users on a daily basis, not all of their outlets present ethical stories that athletes have for youth to follow. So therefore, these are different type of influences that have different impacts on children and what they view as ethical. The overall research question and what it is that I'm trying to figure out in this study is, what values do youth volleyball players consider ethical? The conceptual framework within this is pretty much just an application of all the acquired morals being applied in sports. So these different influences and these different impacts, how they apply those to different situations in sports. Pretty much an overall overview of the methods. I developed a 10 interview guided questionnaire, if you want to say it, or an interview process to yield valid and reliable results from youth volleyball players aged 9 through 18 to determine what values they do consider ethical in participating in the sport of volleyball. Just to kind of piggyback off of participants, I used this study in an overall to target the population of volleyball players in Southern Arkansas, but my participants were pretty much a breakdown of high school and middle school girls aged 9 through 18, broken down nominally into 3 different groups by positions, and I use these as my participants. The procedure, just to kind of go over those quickly, I just wanted to go ahead and make sure that all requirements were met. I had the knowledge of what I needed to know to meet the requirements before conducting this study. I wanted to receive responses from the interview. Go ahead and transcribe those from the notes that I used in the audio version responses that I got from the different players. I want to organize in my Microsoft Word software in different files that I can use to get to easily, and I want to provide a recorded documentation of the participants' results and what they told me interview-wise, answering the questions to give back to them. And just as far as data analysis, I just want to go more in depth into the version of the procedures and to just instilling the industry that the validity of data from the current study and the results were received, and just break it down furthermore into that. Kind of just to switch gears for a little bit, this semester was hard enough in itself, and I have three main people or in a team, to acknowledge, and those people are Coach Carrie Barber and the Malvern High School and Middle School club team ladies that participated in Brick City on that team. My parents, and of course Dr. Kaniba. He has showed so much patience and support within this, because this was not easy, and I'm pretty sure I wasn't the only one in his office all the time repeating questions, and emails all the time repeating questions. So I thank these guys for me throughout this. And to put back to my my topic, research paper, limitation study were gender, various sports, location, and cultural beliefs. You have, for example, student A over here who plays this sport, is this gender, is in this location, and believes this type of belief. And you have student B who has all of the above but is exposed to something different. You can't really say who's right or wrong, because they have these different types of limitations that they are brought to on a daily basis and what they're exposed to. So I think these are also limitations on my study, which I can be able to present. And then just to go over the references, I just had the 10 references from the articles that I use in my literature review, plus the 2 textbooks that we used in class and the APA manual. Just in conclusion, my next AD, A was an actual printout of the first, all of the interview guided questions that I will be asking through my interviews. A letter to the participant, and pretty much this will be more so a letter to the parent, because I have pretty much minors on my hand up until 18. They can go ahead and sign off for themselves. And I have an informed consent form, and this is just for the legal aspects, and all forms of documentation. The due process needs to be kept and organized just in case something happened. I didn't have any additional attachments, so those are my appendix A through D. And kind of to the last questions at the end of this module, if I had 2 academic conferences that I wanted to present my research, the first one will be the North American Society for Sociology of Sports, and that mission was the North American Safety for Sociology of Sport exists to promote, stimulate, and encourage the sociological study, of play, game, sport, and contemporary physical culture. And I researched a little bit about their last conference, and that took place in Tampa Bay, Florida in 2016, where the theme was publicly engaged sociology of sport. And the next conference will be held November 1st to the 4th of this year in Windsor, Ontario. That theme will be sports matters, physics, politics, performance, pedagogies. The second one I will use is the American Alliance for Health and Physical Education, Recreation, and Dance, one where I am highly familiar with, in other words known as Shape America. Their mission is to advance professional practice and promote research related to health and physical education, physical activity, dance, and sports. And their last conference took place in Boston, March 14th through the 18th of 2017, and the next conference will be in 2018 in Nashville. And I couldn't get that one, that theme, because you registered as an attendee to receive handouts and different types of information. If I were to conduct this research and use it in 2 academic journals I would like to publish, the first one will be Youth First, the Journal of Youth Sport, will be the Journal of Sports and Social Issues. These 2 different themes and main. First, the Youth First one was, the author was the University of Nevada, Las Vegas Center for Sports Education. The publisher was in Las Vegas, Nevada Sports Center for Education at their university in 2005. Their formats are journals, magazines, articles, and their standard version is English. For manuscript submissions to be accepted, there are certain guidelines you have to follow, and they go through the APA and LA submit that either or. And then in the Journal of Sport and Social Issues, their mission is pretty much just to bring together the latest research and discussion analysis for sports issues, where their editor is C.L. Cole, University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, USA. And just my straight guideline submissions is to work ideas for scholars and others and understand the relationships between sports and society from diverse theoretical disciplinary perspectives. I can't talk today. Please have different submission principles to send each to, and if I were to conduct my study, I would use these two. My name is Jessica Moss, and this is